Here we are, UVOS again. Oh, there's Dennis coming. Hi, Dennis.
No.
Yay! It's Dennis Hall, my favorite.
The first. He
I
was
was
the
the first.
first.
Numero uno.
I
Okay.
would rather have been the best, but the competition was awfully stiff.
Oh, you know what though? You were so stellar. Like you became one of those, wow, he could win the show as soon as we heard you. Honestly, you were. You did great. You know what I want to know the most? How
Hmm.
did you have all those auditions just at the ready and submitted so fast? You submitted your auditions like lightning speed, all of them. Boom, boom, boom.
So as
And they were
soon as
good.
I had time. I keep time in my like reaction time in my calendar every day, right? Because you just don't know what's going to come in, and I don't ever like to be behind. I'm a 30-year project manager. I like to be ahead of things. So I always have like audition time blocked out, and I don't always have auditions to fill it. So as soon as the copy was available, I pulled it down and started to break it down, and I just plugged it in to my audition time so that it would be ready as soon as the portal was open. I just planned it that way, planned out my time that way, and practiced it and made sure I was ready to go.
Well, you
Yeah.
set a really high standard to be the first to actually commit to submitting, where people go, I'll do one. I'll do one. You set the standard because you did all of them and you did them all so well, so professionally. Everything, you followed the rules to the T. There were people that didn't slate, there were people that didn't do all kinds of things, and there were people that you were very stellar. So we were
Yeah.
Well,
very proud of
I
that.
wanted to do you proud. You've invested a lot of time in me, Ellie Ray. So I wanted to not so much for me, but for you, right? I was trying to impress you.
Oh,
I was trying to make you look good.
well, you did.
Not
Which is
that you need,
why,
not that you need my help for that at all.
bless
But
you, bless you,
you put
bless you.
so much effort into me that it would have been a shame for me to not put my best foot forward and apply what you've taught me. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And we do hope that you will continue to uh, reach out and audition and try to win as this continues, and it will. And our whole purpose and mandate is to give back to the community of those that are trying to thrive in difficult times, and you proved that we're capable of great things when we relinquish fear and we go after our goals. And we appreciate that, and we wanted to reach out to you and give you a chance to speak a little bit about how you felt about the experience, what it offered you, to maybe encourage others who may not have been as eager, may have been more fearful, not quite professionally ready, as they always think they're not. I mean, we'll second guess
Hmm.
ourselves. So we'd love your opinion, just a quick little response to the experience itself and what it gave to you.
Sure. Well, the first thing is just from as a practical matter, it was so easy to do it. I mean, it was, there was plenty of time, as I alluded to. The copy was out early. There was plenty of time to get comfortable with it, to try different things. And when it was time to submit, it was super simple. So it was easy to engage. And for me at least, I mean, everybody's busy, and I think that's an important part of it. There are other things that I've done where it's not, there's a lot of, I mean, shoot, everyday auditions. I'm like, how do you expect to get auditions with this many hoops to jump through? And I did an audition the other day where I actually had to go through like a 20-page questionnaire. I mean, that makes it sound worse than it was, but it was still a questionnaire. And it's just because it's their standard for on camera and COVID and all this other stuff, is your passport current and all that. But it really had nothing to do with the voiceover gig. And you just think, I mean,
Wow.
how is everybody really going to go through that? Are you losing potential talent?
Well,
So
it's like when,
anyway, the point
yeah.
is yours is what we did to submit for you. Very simple. I mean, I think that's evidenced by how many did you have? 1,800 people?
Oh, it was insane. We had
Yeah.
1,827 auditions. It
And
was
I listened to 1,932 because I had already I have
Yeah.
juried some, and they were like, whatever happened, they were lost, and I had to redo 100 and something. And as Deb knows, listening to 102-minute auditions is a long time. Never mind 1,900.
I don't
minutes.
know how you're going to do it next season when you get 3,500 of them. I mean,
Oh, don't Deb and I are like, well, we've been approached by people that want to sort of, we're like, yes, we'll discuss it, but that's it, because it's, as Deb can tell you, and she was way more ensconced in the technical aspects of things that are just, it's overwhelming. We had a huge team of support, but even that was like minuscule compared to the weightedness of the worldly. It was a worldly response, and it was just
Right.
like, oh geez.
Well, that's amazing. That's a
That was so
testament.
cool.
I mean, that's a testament to what you're doing. It's a testament to the way you have it organized, that it came off so well. Um, and I think it's really, I mean, I hope that it's really just good for the community.
Yeah.
You know, that it shows how big the community is, and people were supporting each other through it.
Yeah.
And I think there's also an interesting thing, to me at least, that there are so few opportunities to, I don't know, feel like you've accomplished something. You know, you turn in your audition, but then you're done.
Yeah,
And,
there's
you know,
no
and
feedback.
to be successful, I think you just got to get comfortable saying, "Hey, check, I did that. It was my best work. I'm comfortable with it."
Next.
But it's nice to at least even have the opportunity to submit something and get, you know, feel like you're going to get something in return. You know, even if it's just the watching how the process takes place, and watching how other people, as they move forward, um, uh, feel about the responses they're getting.
Did you watch all the shows, Dennis?
I've watched some of them in retrospect, but I was not able to. I have a class, because it was Wednesday nights, right?
Yeah.
And actually, I thought at one point, I thought, well, gosh, if I move forward, I'm going to have to like cancel this class and redo it another time.
I thought of you about
But
that, actually. I was
but
conscious of
since I
that.
didn't move forward. I got on and I tried to be supportive, you know, on social media and such, of people that were, and I watched a couple of them, but I was not able to go all the way through. Not yet, because I'm going to watch them. They're out there.
Yeah, they're out there. Yeah.
Well,
It's
they're so telling. It's right. It's so telling to be able to watch the talent go through. I
process.
mean, for me, even, I mean, in 44 years I've been doing this, and I still got that kind of,
Yeah.
I
Education.
know this feeling. I know I don't know what's happening, and all of the frou-frou and the tech and all of that stuff that comes with it. And you just literally realize everybody's in the same boat. Like
Yeah.
there's no one that isn't going, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I watched actually several before there were even, you know, announcements of who was advancing. I did watch a bunch of the entries, and just, it's so much fun to watch how people creatively go about it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm sure it's fair to say it was tedious at times too.
Yeah.
You know, there were some where I'm like, how many of these? You know, you just, you know, but
Can't
that's,
watch. Yeah, the audience can't watch 1,827 auditions.
no, there's no
You
way.
just can't. It's
Yeah.
just it's impossible. So it's a daunting experience as coaches, judges, to be able to go through that experience and actually have to realize, especially for Ellie and I, we have to go through every category. We can't just pick one category. We got to go through all
Yeah.
three. We started this engine. We're going all the way, and it's a daunting thing.
Mhm.
It's like, could you imagine looking at 1,827 houses in one day when you're going to buy a house? You know,
Yeah.
it just, woo, they all start blending, and
I
you
don't
just
know,
don't
maybe,
know
you
where to
know,
go.
it's so the metaphor here, I guess, or the analogy I would make is, you know, you go out to the bar and you throw back 3, 4, 5, half a dozen beers, right? But you never throw back a half a dozen glasses of milk, right? And there's nothing else you drink where you sit down for 3 hours and drink 6 of anything.
Yeah.
Same with this, you know, you listen to 3 or 4 and that's fine, but when you put yourself in this position,
Well, and as Deb,
just,
yeah, it's like at a certain point, they all, like, you've heard things that start to sound the same, like your brains, it's the same scripts. So you're
yeah,
like, okay, so now I'm hearing, to really stand outside the crowd, it becomes unique for anyone to just listen to all the auditions, because
yeah,
you go, I understand why that one stood out.
Yeah.
I understood why they were attracted to that or something, because
Or whatever.
it
Yeah.
does become like a sea of equal goodness. It's not like the ocean isn't beautiful. It is. The ocean is full of like many droplets of water, and they're all fabulous. But what are the ones that, oh, look at that iceberg in the ocean. I'm going
And
to
I
read.
think it's educational for all of us talent to watch, but I also
Yeah.
feel it's educational to understand the client's experience. When there's hundreds of auditions and submissions to go through, it's everything's a comparison. So it's a really
Yeah.
unique opportunity to watch everybody actually go through their process.
And then borrow from them, because honest to God, there were people that actually said, you know what? I looked at so-and-so and I thought that was awesome. I would never have thought to have done that. And they borrowed. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, that's what you get.
The game,
that's
that's
what-
why they don't post it.
That's why you want to be first, right? Because if
Yeah.
everything's a comparison, you're comparing
Yeah.
to me until you hear something that knocks me out of the chair.
Well,
That's-
congratulations, Dennis, on being our very first for UVOS 2021. You were amazing. And you weren't just a first, like seriously, we both mean this. You were top notch. I can tell you were one of Ellie's. You were just top notch and extremely, I can't believe you put together that many auditions that fast, that good. That's what I thought. It was just award winning. So congratulations, Dennis. We're going to bring some of the other contestants in the room and kind of introduce a bunch of special mentions for UVOS. We just ended up so busy and so overwhelmed that we kind of just needed to zen. And then of course Christmas comes right after that. It was US Thanksgiving. It was just inappropriate times in all aspects. And so we just want to make sure that we're spending a special time to say thank you for what you guys did and give that little special moment to celebrate you. You know, it was just worth being not just our first, but you were really high up there on winning the show. So congratulations to your expertise on that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was
Our
a
pleasure.
fun experience, and it's just nice to have these kinds of things out there to have a reason to do your best.
Thank you, Dennis. That's
So-
all.
I love you.
A lot of fun.
Yay.
Thank you. I'm already looking forward to next year.
That's awesome. Thank you.
I know
Well,
Deb's like, no.
well, we'll see. We'll just see. It's a surprise.
Yeah.
It's a surprise.
Big surprise
I guess
next
I'm
year.
already assuming there's going to be a next year. Maybe it
Exactly.
scared you
We're
away.
doing that assumption. It's a monster. This thing that we created, we did it originally because of COVID. Everybody was untouchable. No one could get to each other. Like Dennis, being an on-camera actor, you understand that there was no one working for a little short time. There was no on-cameras working, but the voice talent were thriving. And so it was a great way to say, hey, we are not frontline workers, but we're essential workers. So we became essential workers and one of the only acting industries that did through that situation. And then it became okay, you guys are doing it again, right? And we're like, no.
We were like,
no, we're not doing it
oh
again.
no.
I was for sure like, no, not happening. And then, of course, we had Megan, who's actually on the line with us right now. Megan, say hi.
There she is over there.
We had Megan, which is one of Ellie's assistants, and she was willing to help us as an assistant and to help us take on the monster that we take on. And even with all the help that we had, it was still so daunting, such a daunting experience. And so we've learned that we need an army. So if we end up with the right kind of army and we can manage, we'll hopefully see that and do that.
It's
Welcome,
happening.
everybody. Sorry, welcome everybody to the special mentions, moments, and award show. We just want to thank you guys all so much for your submissions and want to celebrate each and one of you individually. We're sorry we didn't get to do more of that, but as you could see, the show was already a couple hours long as it was. So hopefully you guys have had time to kind of watch the show and catch up and be a part of our experience even more so than just auditioning. So welcome everybody. And I have a lot of people that I'm admitting in. Ellie, did you want to say hi to everybody as well? I'm sure.
I did. I just wanted to, again, remind everyone going into 2022, which is a year of the tiger. It's a year of change. It's a year of great successes, good and bad. And I'm just hoping that everybody that is here, you've had great success and that you recognize and celebrate, live in the outcome every day, not in the expectation, live in already. So if you're a baseball player and you think about, I just want to get a home run. I want to get a home run when I'm up to bat. Instead of thinking about that, I wanted you to think about the feeling that you feel after you've had the home run, you've done all the 4 bases, you've come over, you've passed home, and the crowd's cheered, and you're filled with all of that energy. I want you to think in 2022 as the ultimate VO survivors of our special mentions. I want you to live in the outcome, because this contest is an everyday thing. We just set it up so that you could recognize what you do. And I want you guys to know, look at how successful you are. Look at what you achieved. Look at what you took on, how miraculous you are as storytellers. The win is not the thing, because you're here because we go, you won this. You are our special mentions. You were number one. You were the first one. There's always going to be somebody who's going to take what you do and say this. And it's about your feeling in the work that you do and that you come to every day. So in 2022, and yes, you know, you can audition again and come back to the plate and try and win big prizes, but ultimately it's about you living in the outcome of exactly what we're celebrating right now, which is you. That's why Deb and I have called you in, so you remember how special and talented you are, how required you are, and that you don't live in I don't know and why didn't, but that I'm celebrated and I want to live in that joy every day. And I swear you will manifest and bring to you all of the abundance that you require. So thank you again from Deb and I both. We're just so honored to have had the opportunity to share the microphone with you.
Isn't that the truth? What an experience. So the reason, other than celebrating you and honoring you and having some time with you, which is one of the biggest things that we've brought you here, is we're hoping to hear from your experience. How has it been? Was it a really cool experience? Was it overwhelming? Was it daunting? I'm sure that everybody kind of wants to know the aftermath, right? And we're, again, I said this earlier, but we're really sorry it's taken us so long to kind of get back to you guys. I for sure needed a Zen. Oh, okay, we did that. Okay. It's overwhelming. And I know we have Joe on the line going through the prizes. How has that been, Joe? one of our grand prizers here. How has that been?
Hey guys, happy new year. Gosh, I was just sat listening to Ellie thinking, wow. I mean, just to even be a part of it for me this year was just so incredible. I sat there last year and watched it from afar thinking I'm not ready. And this year I was so ready and I was so there and I was so in the zone. And I just think, you know, anybody listening to this, I urge anybody thinking, should I do anything like this, just go for it. And actually when I got the package through, I was like, what? That's ridiculous. So I closed the email and then like opened it again and just went, oh right, okay, it's real. I mean, it's taken me the whole of the new year just to go through everything, and you know, it's kind of like the best start to a new year to be able to kind of jet rocket your way into a brand new experience, you know, all of these amazing prizes that are just gonna help me in my career. Thank you so much.
It's like you need an assistant, right? Like honestly, it's a job. Just putting the prizes together is honestly, you could put at least 2 or 3 assistants on it. Absolutely.
Watch out, I'll have Colin.
Good luck with trying to get Colin. Like, he's ready to murder me right now as it is. He'll probably say, yeah, sure, I'd love to.
And have you done any of your demos and stuff yet, Joe?
Yeah, I'm booked in with J. Michael. I'm booked in on the 26th. I'm really excited. I'm listening to your voice book, which is so helpful. Yeah, Jared's busy penning me a mascot as we speak over in Australia. Yeah, I mean, just the prizes just go on and on. I'm really looking forward to being part of a podcast over in Canada as well. I mean, obviously this one, but I just think all of the opportunities just so overwhelming. Thank you.
Well, thank you. You help us bring the international into what we wanted to accomplish, which was touching and reaching the world. And you know, for those that don't know what we do or our family members, this is a very eye-opening opportunity for them to get a glimpse into our world. And, you know, they might see that we go into our little 4 walls, but they don't necessarily become a big part of it. So seeing that side of it. Now, Mimo, speaking of foreign and international, bringing the world to us, how are you doing? I guess, are you sliding where you are right now? Is the weather sliding?
Believe it or not, we had my other kids' party, so we had the slide last weekend. They went wild. Yeah.
We can slide and see and eat you.
Yeah.
I love
So
that. He just slid like right off his desk. That was awesome.
yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was a great experience, and I think the fun part is the most interesting part of it. And it was actually 3 tries. The first one, I didn't hit the inflatable at the bottom, so I fell in the water and I lost the lab. The second take, I didn't know I lost the lab, so there was no sound on that second take. And on the third take, I said, okay, I lost the lab, so I'm going to use the actual sound of the phone. And because of the air blower, you couldn't hear me very well, so I ended up dubbing the thing that I sent. But it was so fun to do it. And last year, the Santa, my kids wanted a zip line all over the pool, so we had it, and I thought, well, why not? I mean, go wild, as you said. So it was great fun.
For
And
those of you who
also,
don't know what he's talking about and may not have seen his audition, he slid down a water slide. And last year, he did both years. He was on a zip line flying through the air.
Stripping Santa. So he started as Santa and he started stripping. He zipped, oh my God. And he turned into himself. And then when this, brilliant auditions, you guys. You guys
oh,
here. Oh, mwah. Just so, that was so creative. And thank you for allowing us to have fun with you like that. Like, what a beautiful gift to share, everyone. So everybody's going to have a link to all your auditions on the distribution of this, so everybody will get a chance to see what you guys actually did, so they'll know exactly what we're talking about. But worthy auditions to watch here, folks. These are our special mentions for a reason, and this is out of 1,827 auditions. It was very difficult.
We had a couple of those underwater bathing beauties. We had Ileana Spirakis, was like also a mermaid, and underwater cameras and whatnot.
That was
And we
awesome.
had people flying through the air. Matt Chalik was in a helicopter rappelling out of, whatever. I mean, it truly was. And, we always say it's not about your voice, it's about you. People always put the V and the O just in case you didn't understand. I'm a voice actor, and it somehow has something to do with me. And my voice. It actually has to do with just you. The voice is a secondary part of it. And you're selling you every time you come to the microphone. So even though, it was fun and wild, and you wouldn't be able to do those things in studio, probably if you were called to studio to audition, when you gave us those really intimate, fun moments of yourself and mocking your slates and sending yourself up and laughing at yourself, what it actually sells is you to the viewer, because this ended up being an on video show. So it actually helped people go, oh, I just love that. I love that. And then we associate you with your storytelling. And Deb and I both find, which is why we like slating so much, because some people don't like slating at all.
And I think it's also a really great example of clients come in all shapes and sizes. And so we became your clients this time.
Yeah.
We became some decision makers who were looking for what we wanted to see. It doesn't matter whether it's the right recipe for someone else or not. It became a collective. We did do a collective, but it became our perspective from our points of view. And so it's so interesting, again, to see it from the client's perspective and then also the talent's perspective in that journey. And so all that sharing. Now, underwater. So Mimo, I just want to ask you, so did you have waterproof lav mics? Is that what you're saying?
no, I didn't. So that's why I lost it.
Oh my God. I'm so proud of you to risk
No,
your
no,
lav
no.
mics.
No, but after that, I have a bag with all the little things that come when they ship you something. So I put it in this bag,
Okay, good.
and it worked afterwards. So
The
I
technique
actually
in
didn't
me is
lose
I
the
gotta know
lab.
about the mics. I gotta know about the mics. Now, Ileana, that was a really great segue to you, actually, because you went underwater for us. Like, seriously, Ellie mentioned that before, and that was pretty impressive. Now, did you have a GoPro, or what were you using?
Okay, so I was at my village by the water with my dad, and he always tries to find these deals online. So he had bought this normally expensive phone in the stores, but he had bought it from online, I don't even know from where, two of them for so cheap, for even cheaper that you get on a normal phone. So he's like, "You want to take this to the beach? You can take it with you to the beach." He's like, "It's waterproof." I was like, "I don't believe you," because he always makes fun of me constantly. So I said, "Show me that it's waterproof." And I had him show me with the water, with the with the glass, that it's waterproof. So I was playing around, taking the shells, this and that, da da da. I was like, "Hey, you know what? I can do this." And I did it, and then I go home, I want to transfer it, and the phone is not opening. The phone was broken. I don't know if I jinxed it or if he lied to me. And then he took the risk to give me the second one, the second phone. So what I actually included in the um, in the audition was the second day of me doing it again. And that one still works. So
Wow.
I don't know.
Awesome. Well, it worked enough to give you a championship. You also probably are going, I know you've been relentlessly going through the prizes as well, right? Just a overwhelming nice
Yeah.
package for you. Good timing, I hear.
Yeah, I just recovered from the COVID, so as soon as I felt good, I took all of the list and I took dedicated 2 days to just doing the emailing, what you said. And I had one thought, one day I will have one assistant. How does Ellie and Deb even do this? So, but yes, it's like even seeing what Joe said, that even just seeing all of these things, it's it's so I'm so grateful to this. I am in the process of turning my closet into a little studio because I was thinking, I don't have any equipment. What I used for the shows was my friends. So I was like, okay, Liana, you have to take advantage of this gift that has been given to you to get proper equipment and everything. So
Good for
it's
you.
been very exciting.
Oh,
And
well,
thank you.
congratulations. I mean, you did an amazing job. It was amazing. And now Megan, not only did she get a special mention, but she was also an amazingly key fundamental player in our putting this together. Hi, it's nice to see you. It's been a long time for me.
Where's your microphone? Why
Yeah, your
can't
microphone isn't working, I don't think.
I love when I
Might be
love
it's reading the wrong mic. Zoom is just reading the wrong mic, probably. See if we can get that fixed up.
she'll come back. I can see her
There you
lip. I love when I can see your lips are moving and nothing's coming out.
I love the studio. I never noticed she wasn't in studio. She was always in her office area or whatever before. So she's now in the studio. That's awesome.
She's got a
Hello?
great studio.
Hi.
Hi.
Ah, Zoom had me muted. Hello.
Nice to see you. Tell us about your experience as a whole. Like, so first of all, from you auditioned, no, you started with us way before you auditioned. So you got to explore the whole backstory with us.
Right. Yeah, I did also audition the first year as well. Ellie had I had been talking to Ellie and working with Ellie then, and she told me to audition the first time. So I had audition experience, but I wasn't very confident or had a lot of experience at that point. So when I had the opportunity to do stuff on the back end, I took that chance, and it was hectic. There was a lot that happened. There were a lot more submissions, a lot of new things to go over and try out, which were awesome and worked out really well, I think. But I also got to participate. Unfortunately, I didn't slate my auditions.
Yeah, that sucks
no.
because it became a joint judging effort. So we went with the points online system trying to, and so it brought it down. And we said, so importantly, it's so important you follow direction. And one of the things you do is when clients get shortlisting a big project, they went from 100 people, say, to 10 even. Those 10 people are hard to decide between because they're all top. They're all amazing. So now what they do is they nitpick. And so that just becomes one of those stupid little nitpick
But it's
things.
also like the
Yeah.
way we had our system was like we had 10, you broke down the slate. How long was the slate? Did you personalize the slate? Did you add anything extra to the slate? Did you tag off the slate? Like there's all these things. So if you have 10 marks for a slate and you didn't do the slates, you've already got 10 marks taken out. If you didn't sing, you forgot to sing and you just went, oh, I forgot, that was being graded. So you're losing 10 marks there, 10 marks there. So you could have gotten 10 in everything else, you know, so that's where it's like, oh, right.
Because she had some really, especially her video game audition, I
Really
remember
good.
very well. It was some really great. I didn't know your voice talent yet. I only knew you as part of the team at that time. So it was, and I had forgotten, I guess, for some reason last year's to have, other than you reminding me of that in that context, I had forgotten. So I didn't remember what you had done last year or the year prior. So I was really, really impressed with your audition. So great job there. Sorry, we're gonna give it back to you.
Yeah, no, I definitely had a lot more confidence this time. Not so much last year, though I still joke about last year's pickle character. That's like my favorite thing ever. I still go around, I'm like, pickle, and like just scream it. So, you know, it kind of sticks with you. And it was one of those things that when I did it, I was just branching into like going professional with voice acting. And I think that helped solidify my desire to get better, because I kind of struggled the first time, I think. I definitely had difficulties like doing my audition. I was like, oh, it has to be perfect. It has to be this. I have to whatever. And I kind of stressed myself out. And I was like, okay, I'm going to use this to get better. And then next time, you know, and then I came in and did it. And of course, I put the rules on the webpage and forgot to slate. So, you know.
Yeah, but to be fair, she was also engulfed in hours and hours and hours of labor that this contest really demands. So it was a daunting time as well. So, and that goes back to whether we finish auditions on a deadline or not too, right? Sometimes if we wait till towards the end, we end up too overworked in it. Then we have to rush the process versus getting in. And also clients might pick before they get to the end too. So that's the scary part about getting at the end as well. It was such a pleasure and honor to have you on the team. So thank you for that. And congratulations on your win as well.
Thank you.
Now, one of the most memorable auditions, Matt Cholick. My
Hey, big old Matt.
Oh, Matt, wow.
Well, hello there.
Helicopter Man, G.I. Joe. Don't know what else to say. Oh my God.
No, and you sang that rock and roll song that I thought was actually I thought it was a recorded song that you put in the background, and then I was like, what are you saying?
She complained at me and she said, yeah, sing. I said, it's the first thing you hear. And she's like, wait, what? So the Long Tall Sally by Little Richard in the background, the singing and all the instrumentation was all my mouth.
It's like, I'm like, what are you saying? I couldn't believe
That
it.
was great. That was so creative. How long did that take you? How long did that audition take you?
2 days.
2 days. That's dedication, man.
And he did it 2 days before we closed the portal too. I kept saying, your auditions. Like,
yeah, I got it in 4 minutes before it was due. And yeah, it wasn't intentional, but I did end up playing the procrastinators game.
And yet you won an award still. So, and you still
Yeah.
really stood out as the top just overall audition ever. Like, oh my God, it was just unreal. Like, it was just an unreal experience.
Well,
It was
you
an
gave me
experience. It was a feature film. It was a trailer.
it was fun.
You guys got to watch that audition if you haven't seen it. It was fantastic. So,
well, it becomes sort of like it's like a signature for the show now, because people were, every single judge went, what the hell? Did you see that guy that was dressed up as the white rat rappelling out of the helicopter? And then people are like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
was he driving? Was he driving that? Like, oh my God, that was just, it was so entertaining. And you know, that was part of what we wanted to do as well, right? Was entertain. And we're very shy. A lot of voice talent are shy. I'm not, but a lot of voice talent are very shy and don't want to be seen on camera. So a lot of people were turned off by the competition because it's on camera, but you know, we're still human, and it's fun to see what we do. Look at the stupid things we say, do, and facial expressions we make to pull off what we do. And the risk you took, Matt.
And nobody knows that the voice that, but I'm going to do this little toot. So he just, Tara Strong directed him in a little thing, and it was the voice of I'm going to promote you because I know you won't. But
No.
the voice that he did as the little, I forget the character in your audition, but it was the same voice you did for Tara Strong, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Tara Strong had me do a thing for, she was my first director on my first gig. So that was interesting. But she said that I don't know, she said, just have fun. And I didn't know what to tell her because it was one of those instantaneous moments. So I shot like 5 voices at her. She said that first one. And it happened to be the one I used in the audition or my submission, the one that I did at the end. Well, you know, you dummies have clearly surpassed vertical load capability, you know. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I didn't expect that to pay off in any which way. And then she's like, yep, that's the one. I'm like, okay.
And then you also got a recurring character on the Susan shorts too.
Yes. Yes,
Nice,
that was
buddy.
Like we just
Nice.
we kind of
Thank
go,
you.
I'm not thinking of that. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I did get a little thing. And we kind of go, since, you know, since the event, since the Ultimate VO Survivor. So the needle is moving forward, guys. It's just going to move. It's going to support you enough to hopefully embrace and move the needle in your careers.
Yeah,
Which are great.
absolutely.
And thank you all for that.
Thank you. That was, you touched our hearts. So thank you for that as well. You know who else went just like absolutely above and above and above and above and beyond was Heather. Heather Loretta. Oh my gosh. Your auditions were incredible. You went to so much work and were so passionate. That's, you know, the number one thing about all of your auditions, and all of them, they were just so thoughtful and each unique to each other, which is what I found so impressive. Wasn't, you know, just the same one, which is fine to do as well, but it was just so creative. That must have took you a long time.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I will admit I was like really, really, really happy that it got extended, like to submit, because I wouldn't have had time to like do all of it. So I was very grateful for that, and I had so much fun. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna treat each audition, you know, like this is the one that's like gonna, I don't know, like make me enter the contest. This is the one that's gonna like make me like get in. And I don't know, I was just doing it more like, you know, like I believe a lot in like whatever you do, try to do it like 1,000%, even if it's just dishes. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do that with these auditions, and I was just having a lot of fun.
I love that she had parts 1 and 2. So she would do the 2 minutes, but
Yeah, oh my God.
because she embellished so much that she'd have
Oh my God.
part 2, which was the second part 2 minutes of the
Yeah, and like lesson learned, because that's also like why I wasn't like, I got like illuminated and like I totally get it, but I was just like, whatever, like I don't regret anything. But I tend to like, when I get in that zone, I guess I just do whatever comes like impulsively. And just, yeah, I was worried because I was just like, oh my God, like it's over 2 minutes. And I just messaged Ellie and she's like, who cares about the rules? And I'm like, oh my God, how did I even like worry about the time?
Yeah, no, it was beautiful. You were just the most dedicated and absolutely brilliant in talent. So elimination or not, you were a tough competitor. You did amazing. So be very proud of yourself. We're very
Thank you.
proud.
And everyone too. I was always like looking at the portal and looking at like new submissions. And it was just like, it was a lot of fun looking at everyone.
Yeah, that's
What
awesome.
I found so fascinating about were people that have their signature accents, no matter where they're from, America, Europe, Asia, wherever. They come with their signatures. We hear them for their slates, and then all of a sudden they'll get in narration. Like I was like, what the heck? What, like you went full on, like it was shocking, but so like, so did Joe, so did Mino. Like it was like this transition out of signature that I think becomes such a unique and shocking array for judges. I can only speak for myself at this point, but it prime examples of people who, Ileana did it as well, who like used accent she has her own standard, but came right out of it to a classic sound. And I was like, whoa, that doesn't sound like the same person. And just a reminder that that's a reflection of your ability to give a vast variety in the work.
Absolutely.
Everybody who either used accents or came away from their signature accent.
Yeah.
I will say though that doing the narration like for the audiobook and documentary was a bit tough because of my accent. Like it's still a bit of like a sort of like not like handicap, I guess, because I'm like, oh, like I know like I'm getting this word wrong and stuff, and I'm just like,
At the
but
same time, it's very current right now. International voice acting is the current trend. So
Global sound. It's got
it's
to be. They want
advantageous for you
global.
to actually pursue that right now.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I find really eye-opening about the show is it keeps us trendy, keeps us current with what's going
Mhm.
on in the market right now. And so it is actually very trendy to have an undiscernible accent or a discernible accent, but either way, something where it's still English, but it has that flavor that once was drilled out of us or out of you in your situation. So you want to do both. You want to be able to have both because there's double the money.
Mhm.
You like
Yeah.
double the money.
Okay, I gotta keep working hard.
There we go. Great job. Thank you so much. Now,
Thank you.
Molly Rock decorated
Molly.
her Halloween theme
Oh my God,
was
this blew my
Get
mind.
Mic'd.
Blew my mind. Her whole front of her house were skeletons and pirate skeletons, but it was a Get Mike theme, and she had a microphone set up so the kids and everybody could go and do, like, it was unbelievable, you
Oh,
guys.
that's amazing.
Thank you,
I
Molly.
should have put that in my audition.
I thought you,
But
but
it
I
was-
was like, why didn't you?
Well, I mean, I thought we had to follow the rules. So I
Uh-oh.
was like really a
Have you
stickler
met
on
me?
that. So no, I hadn't. That's the point. I mean, this
That's
was
what
like
you had.
entirely my introduction
You were brand
to
new.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like brand spanking new. And so that's why I loved, I mean, like Heather was, well, I mean, everyone said it, but every time there was a new submission and getting to see it, it was so exciting. And it was fun. It was like, what's happening here with like some of the different things that happened. And then like Matt and Heather's, like they were so different, you know what I mean? And yeah, my whole idea was every Halloween I do go big, and I always kind of have a theme, and I wanted it to be sort of my journey so far. And so that's why it became like, all having to do with the Get Mic'd. And it was the cutest thing because all of these little humans that would come up and they're like, they kind of would look over and I'm like, absolutely. And they'd go up and they'd start playing voices. Oh my God, it was the cutest thing. And the parents were all taking pictures and stuff. I was like, oh my God, this is the
Like, that's a show right
it
there.
was so fun. And then what I did was I did QR codes for like all of your websites and stuff like that. So that they could just take a picture with their website when they go to take a picture and open up your website.
And so look at the branding opportunity for us as talent. So Molly, next year, it should be you. You should be the theme next year. And you should put your QR codes and get your demos on there. And that's a great marketing tool, guys. We forget we can do our own voicemail, right? We forget we can advertise on our own stuff. It's so naturally fitting there that we do. And it just impresses people when we do. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for that. But thank you for allowing us to be your first experience. Like we're her first. We love that we got to be a part of that with you. And, you just genuinely honored us by what you did. And you've actually taught us some marketing stuff that I think is so clever by what you did there. I just think that was totally impressive. So
it couldn't have been a better like first experience, honestly. It really, I mean, everyone that's here, it's a family, and I've had a chance to work with you guys since, and I have ones coming up, and it's just, I met so many people through this. No, I mean, I a bunch of different friends that I made through the whole experience. And I mean, it's just been, it floored me. It just was the most amazing thing that this could be my first experience, and actually opened a lot of different doors for me to start playing. Because I haven't really been at a place of being able to say like, all right, I'm jumping all in to this point. So for me, it was like just getting to play and have fun with all of it and meet so many people and see how other people played with it and what they were doing with it. Yeah. It couldn't have been could not have been a better, like first popping my cherry.
You helped us introduce voice acting to your world, right? So on your block, all the kids like that, you're exposing an industry that they may not have ever thought of ever before. So good on you as well for that.
I wanted to honor you guys. So thank you for doing it, because it was such a treat for everyone.
You did. It was amazing. Thank you. Now let's talk to Doug.
Doug.
Our Slate master story beautiful human being of the year, planet, whatever. We love you, Doug.
Oh, shucks. Oh, shucks. Oh,
Such
shucks.
great auditions. You have so much beautiful natural character in what you do,
Okay.
and it just was translatable and so close to winning. Like, you just are so heartfelt in your performances. We're just both in love with you for
And
sure.
it's like I said from the first go round, I said that Doug Bartling guy who talked for,
It was a long slate. Not
the
everybody would love
longest
long
slate,
slate,
but
but
what
it was
I
beautiful.
said, no, he has 2 minutes. I
Touching.
said, and some people don't like slates. I want to know you. I don't give a shit about the copy because everybody's going to say the same copy, and I know what the copy is, and I know some people do it one way, some people do another, but I know what the copy is. When you slate and tell me a little bit about you, or you get quirky, or you do something silly, or you say something funny just for a minute, like I don't get offended because I have a moment in time with the team where I go, you said such intimate,
Oh, it's heartfelt.
humble, heartfelt things that you made me cry in one of your auditions. Like I literally went,
Oh, thank
my
you.
God, who is this guy? Like I don't give a shit if you're talented. I want to give you all the awards anyway. Like it has nothing to do with your voice at that point in time. And I just need you to recognize that it is that. And, I know your story. You have a story of great successes, great losses, great successes, great losses that you've overcome. And to be that intimate and honest and warm is what we all strive to do as storytellers, to literally celebrate.
Thank
And
you.
I think you captured that for Deb and I anyway. And the other judges, it was you again that made, I can speak for myself here, go, you literally took my breath away.
Yeah.
You
I
did.
mean, what do I?
I gotta say before you speak, Doug, that none of the judges, the rest of the judges, actually including us at first, really realized that you had a different story than almost anybody else has. So we'd love to give you the floor and tell us about you and your experience.
Well, honestly, I a big thing, Deb. First of all, thank you. I mean, you guys keep talking. I'm like, how do you not get choked up by something like that? I'm just trying to be me. I don't know anything other than that kind of thing, So, I was going to jump in and just say to the two of you, listening to all the other contestants, like you're changing lives. Like everybody that's sitting in this room right now, like, listening to Ileana and Matt and Joe, and I mean, you're changing lives. Molly, without you, we don't know how to compare like our talents to other people's talent, but then here comes this Ultimate VO Survivor competition. And, we go into this thing not knowing what's going to happen. I know I did. And everybody's taking chances and all of these kinds of things. And you are changing lives. So a lot of it should go to YouTube for just doing what you're doing, because I'm so grateful for everything that you two have done, because I feel like I've known you for years. And it's weird because like I love you guys and I have never met you, but I'm just so humbled, honored, grateful for everything. I give a lot of credit to everybody that's in this room, all your finalists. I mean, the 36 people that you selected. Wow, the talent, incredible. With that, I wanted to make sure I said that because I wasn't going to get off without giving you guys your credit. I know slates are supposed to be short. But I saw it said 2 minutes. So I'm like, okay, I got a 30-second script. I got a minute and 30 seconds to tell them something about myself. Use this as a second audition. I'm not blowing that shot. I don't know. I'm not going to blow that shot. So I was like, okay, what do I tell them? Okay, well, I have 2 days, 3 days. I had a lot going on that month. I wasn't even sure if I was going to do it. And if I can't put 100% in it, I don't want to do it, because it's either all in or nothing, because why go tiptoeing in and out? So I was very grateful that I was able to open up the floor to be able to do it. And I said, well, let me tell them something personal about myself, whether if it's funny, whether it's riding a mechanical bull. I mean, a quadriplegic on a mechanical bull is ridiculous, right? Or telling them about my water bottle. It's about letting them know who I am. Why not?
But it wasn't just your water bottle. It was your water bottle that your kids helped you.
Yeah, the bottle that your kids. It was.
Oh my God, you just touched my heart.
Well, I mean, thank you so much. I mean,
You're saying that they weren't your kids, but they are your kids,
Yeah,
and how much you love those kids, and them giving
memorable.
you that water bottle killed me. It killed me, man.
Not just a water bottle.
I don't know if anybody here is a step parent. It's very hard to ride that line of being a friend. Okay, so Joe knows. being a friend and being a parent, you have to walk that fine line. But to get a gift of that, they know I like the Mets, I like the Vikings, I can go from Wu-Tang to the Grateful Dead, I can listen to this, and all of a sudden they show that means that they just, it's like the changing of the guards. One watches TV with me until she has to go to bed, and then the other one comes in until he has to go to bed. So it's just like they love spending time with me, and that for me just shows me as a parent kind of thing. The big thing is that I got into this competition because I wanted to see what I was capable of. You don't know how to compare your talent until you do something like this. I did not think about getting selected. When I got that response, it floored me, because I never thought about that. I just wanted to do it because I said, I want to do it. I'm going to go after it. I'm going to do this 2 minutes slate. I don't know if they're going to kill me or not. The risk paid off because the people that I've met and what I've learned, and just seeing how great, beautiful souls that you and Ellie and your entire team, you have such an amazing team. A lot of credit goes to you, and I'm so grateful that I was able to be a part of it.
Well, thanks for allowing us to be part of your experience. We've all become friends, as one of you had said a moment ago. And that's what I've always found beautiful about the voiceover community as a whole is, wow, it's full of a lot of supportive people. And so, for those of you who don't know about Doug's story, Doug is, he made very, very light of it, a quadriplegic on a bull, but that is his story. And voiceover is such a beautiful home for him. It just introduces a lot of people to a world they didn't consider when they are limited. And I just think you climbed a mountain, and wow, what a great part of us to be a part of that experience with you. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Ellie.
Our pleasure. Now, not just because.
And I just wanted to say that, you on wheels, but also that was when we gave you the demo, the car, the automotive demo, only because, it just said those things work. It works. It facilitates your needs, right? It's like you said, well, your fingers don't work, but your arms can work, but your chest has issues, but it didn't, with all of those qualifications that for somebody else could have compromised you and taken you out of this game. If you let it, it didn't.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing on that?
Of course.
I really don't like I don't ever want to ever address. I remember a top professional about 4 years ago tell me, don't hide behind you being a quadriplegic, but don't let it stand out first. Don't let your injury define you. And I always thought, hey, quadriplegic voice actor, that'll get people interested and make me unique. But then it makes it, so I saw his point of view. My thing was is that everybody in this room right now has something that bothers them, something that gets at them, something that a hurdle, a mountain, an obstacle that they need to overcome. Whether it's a dark thought or some challenge or something that they have to deal with that could bring them into a negative spot. My job as a person, I'm using my disability as a blessing to bring hope and love and a light to other people who need that extra oomph to say, no, don't you let your situation define you. Don't let your limitations stop your talent from showing, and so maybe that was the reason why I got into this competition, or why I got into acting or voiceovers or public speaking, is because there's other people out there that just need that little bit of hope to go to that next level, to not give up. And that's a big reason why I do what I do, so.
Beautiful gift to give back. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now I have another very amazingly talented, bright, energetic, characterized, beautiful auditions to watch, which was Leah. But she also had a heart-wrenching story, I heard, which is just so devastating. So, Leah, first of all, I'd like to celebrate your amazing, incredible audition. You're just so beautiful on camera, by the way, too. Wow, you look so good. She had the most beautiful. What was your cat's name, honey?
Her name is Cosette.
Cosette.
Yes, Ellie knows Cosette. She was my beautiful little baby Persian girl.
and she was a part of the audition with you, and you just had the cutest. I think they were. I think they were pigtails or they were braids, and you just.
You
Oh
did
my
several.
gosh.
You did a bunch of the genres of auditions too, and you did different things. Another, you did a very, fun, cute slates, and really, you were playful, and you used Cosette. And I'm always like, when you have a familiar with you, you're bound to have that kind of energy. Cosette has passed, of course. But you've done a character on your animation demo called Cosette, which will live on for infinity for you. So
that's right. And my husband has no idea. So as soon as it comes out, I'm going to play it for him as a little surprise.
Oh,
That's fantastic. So
yeah, but it was a great experience. But what happened was something like 1 or 2 days after I recorded my audition, her health just turned for the worse. I had no idea she was sick. No idea. And within a month she was gone. And honestly, that video is the last video of her healthy,
wow, I'm so glad you have a happy experience of her on video, but what a heart-wrenching, story. So our hearts are just with you for your loss, and we're so
Thank you.
sorry, but we're so glad we got to meet her. How old was she?
She was only 7. She was 7 years
7.
old, but because she,
Oh my God.
purebreds tend to be a little bit weaker sometimes, and we didn't know she had a kidney. Well, we knew she had a kidney issues, but she was polycystic and in that moment, and something like 2 days later, she just went right down. So we took her to the ICU for 4 days, brought her home. She survived another month, and she was gone. So all I have left of her is this little paw print.
Oh, I'm glad you have that.
Oh,
Well,
my dog peed on me
Keep it here.
today.
oh.
Just telling you, with the things we do for our animals, while I was working and didn't get her out to pee, she peed on my lap, waiting for me to take her out. So that's how
Punishment. That's how they teach us.
what we do for our animals.
Yes, I know.
Absolutely.
So Leah, why don't you tell us, now, are you a working talent? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, I got into voiceover 3.5 years ago as a side hustle. As most millennials have a side hustle, I wanted one too. And I made a long list of potential side hustles. Could I teach people in Japan English? Could I do eyelashes? Maybe bake cakes? I don't know. And one of my good friends, Tasha, she sent me a text at work. I was in a job that I was ready to move on from. And she said, "Hey girl, why don't you try voiceover?" And I thought, voiceover? Okay, how am I going to go downtown? I work full time. How am I going to go downtown into studios? And she goes, no, from home. Check it out. So she sent me a couple of links, and I was like, this is the coolest thing. Did a lot of research, and 4 months later, Black Friday 2018, I went to the music store, bought the mic, bought the and it was expensive. And my husband's like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Okay, give me 6 weeks, I'll make it back. I promise." Please, just give me 6 weeks. And I did it in 8 weeks.
Nice job.
But I was able to just hit the ground running. And then when COVID hit, I still had it as a side hustle. And then my stable government job said, "You're out of work. That's it. Sorry." And I thought, oh, okay. Now what am I going to do? And I just said, I put pedal to the metal, put the blinders on, and I said, I need this. I want this. I love this. And I was able to go full time within 8 months, 9 months.
Wow.
And then my work called me back, and I said, bye, I'm not going back.
Oh, that's a great story. What a great celebration, Leah. That's fantastic. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What an interesting way to get through this whole thing. And it goes back to, like I said, us voice actors became an essential service when other companies were all shut down. Like, oh, didn't know. Well, so glad I went in that direction from the beginning, right?
But
So
no,
you guys are all-
I really want to thank you guys as well, because as Doug said, you guys have put so much hard work and effort in this, and the amount of emails we received, that takes time to write all that, proof all that, and to engage such a big community. And I know Ellie was a little bit sick for some time. I hope you're doing better.
No, she still overworks herself.
Oh, that's another thing that we don't give any energy to.
But I just want to thank you guys so much as well for the opportunities. It's been amazing and outstanding. And oh my goodness, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Leah. That's beautiful. We really appreciate that a ton. Thank you so much. Allie, hi.
Hello, hi
Hi.
everyone.
Hey, so nice to see you. Now, where are you? Where are you based?
I'm based in New York City, specifically in the Bronx, if anyone's around New York.
Awesome.
Woo,
Okay,
BK.
so you got Megan Humans. Megan Humans. She's in New York too, not in the Bronx though.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm on Long
Just a
Island, but
train ride away.
I'm close
Long
to
Island.
Queens.
She's on Long Island.
I don't have a
Long
New York
Island.
accent.
I'm
can't
upstate.
I can't do the Long Island accent despite living here.
Long Island.
You did so good. You were amazing. Tell us about your experience and how it was for you.
Oh my gosh, this was such a fun experience. Firstly, this is still, well, now we're in 2022, so I guess we're on year 2 of me getting into the voiceover industry.
And she
She's
went
got a
away.
bad connection. We got a
Oh
bad
dear.
connection, Annie. Of course, and it probably was
21
just fine a
me just
moment
kind of
ago.
learning about it and
There we
doing
go.
trying to work. Oh, did I disappear?
Yeah, now you're back.
Oh, okay. Let's start over. Rewind. So, 2021 was the first time I really went and did some research on the voiceover industry. Wanted to learn more about it and what I can do, what I can learn, what's my special sauce, like who am I? I had a very coming to Jesus moment, just kind of staring at the mirror, like, who am I? Because this whole COVID thing just turned everything upside down. And I have a wonderful friend. His name is Joe Achman, and he actually told me about the auditions, but I found out pretty late. So I think my submission was probably on the last day or the day before last. When I went to audition, I had to find a cool background, and I really didn't have any in the moment because I'm just in my little apartment, like, So I went to the hallway and I had a nice, just like gray background. It looked clean, and it of me auditioning, my roommate comes in with a bunch of his friends, and I'm just like there with the mic, and they're all just staring at me like, what are you doing? I'm auditioning. So I had to do a few takes and try to figure out what song I wanted to sing, what I wanted to do. And it was just such a fun experience. I mean, talking about things that not letting things hold you back. When I was younger, I was going deaf in both my ears. And my thing was music. I won for best singer as a special mention. So that was really cool because that's the first thing I went into initially. Was once I healed and got my hearing slowly back, I loved music. Music has been a part of everything about me. So that's where I went to first. But I've always loved cartoons. I've always loved just voices and tonalities and just hearing what I can do with what I got.
You've got that
doing
beautiful
little prank calls and everything. So. Thank you. So I just wanted to give it a try. And sometimes the best way to learn how to do something, in addition to researching, because you can read as many books as you can, but experience matters so much. So this was one of those things. And again, I'm very grateful for the experience to just dive in and be.
Oh,
community that is just so loving, forgiving, hopeful,
Oh,
incredible.
come back to us. You held us in suspense.
No.
You want to dive in and watch?
No.
Digital heart attack.
Where did I leave off?
That's where we all hold our breath and go.
in.
And so what's happening? Is it me? I'm like, is it me that's gone from
the internet?
It's not loving your video.
Oh no!
Right
but
now.
it's like, the whole thing about best singing, the best song, which is why we ask for singing, because when you sing a song, you're told exactly how to sing the song with different pitches, different notes, different weights of notes, different clefs, different octaves, different crescendo, decrescendo, pianissimo, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But when you come to copy, you're not told any of that. So you don't know how to sing the song. So it's actually worse. And yet people then get confused and screwed up about singing when they're told exactly how to sing it if they know how to read sheet music. So we need to transition both of those. And you had such fun and played. So, you didn't get all caught up in I have to sing it well and do it well and announce the song, which some singers do. Just be joyful and fabulous.
It was awesome. Thank you for that experience. It was awesome. Now, Ryan, talk to us about your experience. So great to see you.
Hey, what?
There's Ryan, another funny,
We've got you.
funny, great, funny stuff.
All right, am I working?
You're working.
Okay, awesome. I always have the worst luck whenever I do these kind of meetings. I always crash out immediately, so that's a first.
Not today. Not today.
Excellent. I did a pre-test too, just to double check. No, but it was an interesting experience because I don't remember exactly where I first saw the competition, but it popped up on a couple like places that I frequent. And then I decided to go, all right, I'll check out the website, see what it's all about. I think I spent like an hour watching auditions and I was like, I think I could do this. So I ended up doing a really makeshift setup using my tablet, plugging in my preamp to that so I could at least have the mic I was using at the time. So it wasn't really like off-putting the audio. And wow, that's weird because I see you talking, but I don't hear anything. So hopefully it's not too awkward with me just
No,
blowing
no
off
one's
right
actually saying anything. I was just giving you the quotes of what you were saying. It's all good.
now. Okay.
No problem, Kiana. We'll get to you right away.
Yeah, so I ended up doing like a makeshift setup, put out the studio lights, put out the backdrop for the green screen, so I could chroma key. And I just ended up kept blundering because I wanted to do everything in just one take. Just be like, all right, start to finish, add in like the cute little slating intro with my car potato and call it a day. And the one that you guys actually picked for the honorable mention, my gaming one, I had the most trouble getting that one down because every time I ended up doing it, I would have first time my preamp died on me. So I was doing it and then the audio just cut out and it was just like, Warrior.
Oh,
And I was just like, oh no, that was such a good take.
Oh, no.
So then so the next day I tried doing it again along with like I think it was the animation one because that one also had similar things. So then I did it again and I was like, all right, awesome. And I edited the video and I was about to post it to my YouTube channel before I submitted it. And I noticed like halfway through, I screwed up. And then yet again, I had to go back into the living room, set everything up. And I was like, I'm going to get it this time. I'm going to get it this time. Did it. And then I was like, I don't even care how this sounds. I just want to get this out there.
And it paid off. It was so funny. You guys got to watch it. His slate was awesome. We thank you for having so much fun and putting that effort in. And what's odd is what I love about voice acting is we actually don't have to go through the hassle of film. Film is a hassle because there's a big setup where unless you live in an environment obviously where you have to set up and tear down, which happens in the beginning of our voice career sometimes. But when it can be just set up and you just plug and play and go, it's a lot easier than having to set up all the film and everything that goes with it. So thank you for going through that extra mile, Ryan.
I was very tempted just to do the audio submission and just not do the camera, but I was like, nah, I'll do it. Can't do the DSLR camera, but we can at least use the tablet to get something decent. So I settled for the TikTok format, which I, of course, had to do again.
It totally paid off. So thank you, Ryan, for that. Now, Kiana. Hi. Oh, there we go. We got you. How are you?
Hi, Kiana. Oh, hello.
Now, where are you based?
Look, now I feel weird because it's my turn to talk.
That's okay. What we do for a living. I can't wait to talk, but now that I'm talking, do I want to talk for a living? Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I do.
It's the camera. Like, I'm a voice actor. I do voice things. I don't like being on camera. I get weird. I'm West Virginia Mountain Mama. That's where I am.
Listen to all the accents already. Nice.
Yeah.
So, nice. You have many accents, though. You've already shown us like a couple. Holy smokes.
Because I'm nervous, so it's my turn to talk. So then I do that.
So how long have you been a voice actor then?
When was the contest? October, September?
Yeah, it started September. Yeah.
Yeah, like 2 weeks before I did the contest.
Oh wow! Good job. That is
Thank you.
awesome. And look at you in special mentions.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. That is fantastic to know.
It's so very appreciated. It just says, that I can do it pretty much. And then like, I was just chatting about it. I started a community on Discord currently, Lunar Hoshi Productions. Pretty much I get to make a bunch of passion projects and involve a whole bunch of voice actors to be a part of it.
Wow. That's awesome.
diverse community. So it's like, you know, a bunch of people that have lots of accents, and people that are in Europe and Africa and India, they get to be a part of my projects. And I'm working on an audio drama, and I'm doing a lot.
That's
I'm,
awesome. And you
it's
just
very
started
different.
this just before the competition.
Voice acting, yes, but I just started the company, you know, about like a month and a half ago, and I already have 500 voice actors that take part in this. You know, we're getting coaches, we're making like cheap demo reels for people that can't afford, you know, professional demos, and giving them opportunity. Am I getting emotional, or is it just the light? I think the light's my face.
Emotional's good. We love emotion. You know what? It's an emotional experience for us, right?
Everyone had such emotional stories, and I do not. Really, I don't.
Absolutely you do. You know,
Yeah,
here's
you
the thing,
do. Of course you do.
your journey, our journeys are all individually so unique, and we've all gone through so many things. Like, as much as you might not think it's whatever it is you're comparing that meter to, you just did something very profound, extremely profound. Most people don't go from, you know, October to September to now and have accomplished that much in that short of time.
Yeah, I'm
So,
tired.
you know, really
Just,
pat
I
yourself
would
on
just
the
also
back.
reach, I would also suggest that you've got a vast group of people here and beyond, if you want to give your information so people can join your network of diverse folks that
Thank you.
I think you can put it in the chat and let people reach out to you and help you thrive with your business. I think you've got a great group of people here that can help you out in many, many ways. So just
Great
put your
community.
contact
Thank
information,
you,
and I'm
Heather.
sure you'll get people that would love to help you.
I
Awesome.
really appreciate that. It's, you know, that's going to be the hardest thing. I can't talk. That's going to be the hardest thing, is to, you know, look for sponsors and I want people to actually care, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I have my own staff. I have different teams of people on different projects. And I've come to find out, you know, audio projects are the easiest things to do. Like, it's a lot easier to get a person to make music. And like, now I have 4 music composers, you know, a couple voice actors, or like 50 voice actors, a couple video editors. I know I'm talking slow. I'm
Not at
sorry.
all. You know what? You're just a little hard on yourself. That's all.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got voice actors here, you've got video editors here, you've got composers here, musicians
I'll take
here,
everyone,
but everybody
you know,
here.
Definitely share your stuff in the
Thank
chat with
you.
them so everybody can
She
share.
did.
this
She
with you.
put it in there. It's in there.
Thank
Listener
you. Yeah,
Haas.
the email's in there. I just thought that'd be the easiest thing. Like I said, it's in Discord, and I started out, you know, castingcall.club, like most people. It's free. You get on, you do it. I do paid jobs and unpaid. And unpaid's usually the funner jobs, you know. And voice acting is mainly, it's my escape, you know. I got my little box here with my Audio Technica and my children. Like, I'm hiding. I'm hiding from my 2, 3, and 5-year-old children. But a lot of people with disorders and disabilities, like, they look towards voice acting. Like, that microphone is an scapegoat.
You don't even need a disability. We all have one anyway.
Well,
We're all messed
thinking,
up in some way in all aspects, and it is a true escape platform. It really is. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad you see it that way, because it really is a way to let go into character, no matter what you're going through, whether it's a happy experience or a really sad experience, right?
Yeah. Like, you know, it's just me with 3 kids. So it's the microphone, my depression, my anxiety. It goes away when I sit in my chair in my corner. So, I just thought it'd be cool to do. I've always wanted to do it. Like, I've always done my weird, you know, voices. And I feel like my audition really hurt me. Like, I could have progressed a lot further, because I tried to go above and beyond. You know, it was my first contest. Like, my 4th or 5th thing to actually audition to. And, you know, with my audition, I didn't send my face, because I'm like, no, I don't want. I recorded it just in case. And I think that's what, you know, got me here, was the live audition afterwards.
Absolutely.
I was like, okay, my emotions there, the delivery's there.
Yeah.
And I tried to be extra and make all the sound effects and stuff myself. I thought that would help me. And I
You
feel
went
like
above
that
and
was
beyond.
That's where it
yeah.
was. Yeah, that's why it was so great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Kiana. It's beautiful that you've
Beautiful.
grown so much in such a short time. Honestly, that just a
Yeah.
testament to you, and we're so glad to be a part of that journey with you. As
Welcome to
well.
the team. You're awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Now,
I will win next year.
there you go. That a girl. That's
There
the
you
way. That's
go.
good attitude. We keep doing it. Okay, J Rocks. J Rocks, you're up. And thank you guys all so much. We've got just a couple of you left, so thank you for your patience. We're almost wrapped up. I know Ellie has to leave right away in just a bit. So, J Rocks, tell us about your experience. Nice to see you, my friend.
Hey, good to see you too, Sensei. Oh man, where can I even start? So, first off, wow. That's all I can say about my experience. Just wow, because I love being surrounded by talented individuals, each showing their quirks and whatnot. Now, me personally, I didn't think I was going to be in anything to perform. So being part of special missions, that was a bit of a shocker to me, because the last part, I actually messed up in my audition, low-key, because I never saw. Well, I'm sorry, I'm getting all over the place. You know me, Deb. You taught me. I'm all over the place. Um, basically, composure. Basically, I always I was a music man before I was a voice actor. My family was brought up on music, and pretty much I'm the bundle of everything. So I absorbed everything when it came to it. And what's funny is that because I couldn't play any instrument, I had to literally turn myself into an instrument. He's like, how? You already do singing. Like, well, I'm also a beatboxer, an acapella man. And that just became my go-to. And so when I got into voice acting, I'm like, wait, I can fuse these two. And so I'm like, I'm gonna wait first. When I saw they'd be doing the competition, I was like, I want to see how many people do things musically. And I'm like, yep, I thought so. Everyone did something with vocals, but they never thought of doing.
Oh, yeah, rocks.
They never thought of doing that.
Yeah.
That's right, my boy.
And I was like, okay, I can use that part of it. And I pretty much use that as a go-to when I do voice acting, because I'm like, I can do all these sound effects, so want to make it as organic as possible to show my versatility. And besides that, seeing everybody and just getting in a groove, like, I mean, I'm a sucker for talent. That's my quirk. I'm a sucker for talent. I love seeing people do things that I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that, but I love it anyway. And I'm gonna be blunt because I'm being long-winded. I have a lot of quirks. I'm not gonna lie. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to keep composed, but I just love being around talented people. So case in point, you help me show more of talented people. Every last one of you, I love watching because I'm just a sucker for talent. I can't think of any other way to say it. So Deb and your Get Mike team, just thank you for broadening my eyes more, making me see beyond my 4 eyes. So just thank
Great
you.
job, J Rocks. Thank you so much. It's such a
Actually,
pleasure.
just as a little plug-in, I just want to say I worked with J-Rex on some incredible projects, and I know he's just totally underselling himself right now.
Stop it, Sam.
No, I just have to say that. I have to say that you are like his musical talents scare me. So just because of how fun and how vibrant he is, he can just come up with like a harmony on the spot, and I'm like, what are you? What? So yeah, I just needed to throw that out there. Good to see you, everyone.
This year, I'm just saying, everybody, this year is coming up very quickly.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much. Give it up for Sam, everybody. She's helped us so much as well throughout the
Yippee.
process. She was also a contestant who did very well. Very proud of her. She's brand new too. You've only been doing this a short time, right?
Yeah, I've only been doing this. I started in like July of 2020, and then J-Rox and I actually met on like a Discord like a few months after that, and we kind of did some projects here and there. But I really didn't take it seriously until probably January of last year. That's when I started learning under Deb, and then I've been having fun doing work for Get Mic'd, and yeah, it's been a great time.
Amazing, Sam. Thanks for all your help. Now, Sarah. Hi.
Hello.
How are
Hey,
you?
Sarah!
Good.
Hey, Sarah.
Your hair's changed colors again since I saw
Yeah,
you.
it tends to do that. I
Love
can't stay
it.
with one thing too long.
I get you. I saw your 10-year challenge on Facebook.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know if this is normal for a 40-plus-year-old person, but I feel like I look way better now than I did
You
10 years
do.
ago.
I
Thank
agree.
you very
I
much.
agree with you. I'm 100% there.
Better with
You're
age.
blossoming. You're
Yeah,
blossoming, my friend.
Like a fine wine, better with age.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Sarah, you're so talented. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for sharing your audition with the world. It was just fantastic. Tell us about your experience.
Yeah, well, I've been in love with acting since I was a wee little girl, and my first ever production was a horrible musical rendition of Snow White, and I was just like in the chorus, but I fell in love with being on stage. I fell in love with telling stories in various ways, and I've been acting ever since. But voice acting specifically, it was COVID that actually kind of pushed me towards this. I'd been thinking about it for a while and kind of pondering, I should do that. And, I really should get serious about that. And then, like a lot of people, I got laid off of my normal 9 to 5 job. And I was like, all right, I can't do nothing. I have to do something productive. What can I do? And I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is my moment to start doing this. And I've been doing it ever since.
Wow. And I got to say, look at how in the special mentions group, I know there's a lot of people missing here tonight as well. So we'll be posting everybody's name and their actual award and stuff with their links to their videos, just so everybody knows as well. But so many people newer in the industry that made an absolute incredible mark on us. That's so much to be proud of, you guys. Those of you just
And
started.
another example with Sarah is all of your auditions, just they were all unique, all different. You had fun. You had a sense of play about you. And if you looked at any of the 1,900 or it was 8, but for me it was 9. There's an energy that is not accelerated, and there's no gush emotionally. And it's the little gushes where you go, oh, or you go, oh. Those gushes are the things that are emotionally connective. And there was a prime example. All of you that are winners had them. It's what I call the emotional gush, where you don't go to neutral and you don't accelerate. And you had great examples of just those little gushes inside of your work that tell me that you are alive and not in neutral and not presenting words. Beautiful, like this, gorgeous.
Beautiful connection. So thank you for connecting with us, because we definitely connected with you. And so congratulations for touching our hearts in that way. Great job. Did a great job. And for tonight, not that it's the last but not least as far as everybody else, there's still some people missing, some really fantastic talent that we will be mentioning as well. Chris, nice
Hello.
to see you. Hi.
Hi there.
Touchdown.
Right?
Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for submitting your auditions. How was your experience?
Nerve-wracking, and it was one of those wonderful situations where like a half hour afterwards it was like, I could have delivered that so much better.
Well, we call that the itty bitty shitty committee. I would have, I should have, I could have, I didn't.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
It
that
was
one.
definitely
We
an
know
itty-bitty
that.
shitty committee
We know
moment. It
that
was one of-
committee.
Yep, it was one of those shower thoughts where I'm like, oh, there could have been like, I'm learning to cook. I could have thrown that in there. Oh, why didn't I do that?
And look at
Ah,
here
well.
you are. Your creativity got you here, right?
This is entirely accurate. I was surprised as all get out.
Yes, we did want to we were hoping that our special mentions weren't just predictable, something that people would expect. There was a lot. It was, I can't tell you how hard it was to decide special mentions, never mind getting to where people are contestants and everything else, just getting to a narrowed down thing, because it's actually more overwhelming than we expect. And
Right.
so if we could have 3 months or 4 months to go through all the talent, it wouldn't feel so overwhelming. But even if with 4 months, it's like writing a book. You start writing all your chapters out, that's great, but you're going to forget what you wrote in the other chapters. You might have to read everything all over again just to keep continuing.
Oh yeah, it's all over the place. It
You
really
can't
is.
just shove it down. So it's
So yeah, I have to shout out a second, Kiana. I do the same thing you do when I'm nervous. Here we are. I'm all over the place tonight.
oh, so you found a home in voiceover.
What's that? Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I had been doing like voices, dialects, accents, impressions, what have you, since I was 6, and I'm 41. So it was like 2018. It's like, and I'm sitting there at my regular job that I quit last year, just mopping the floor, and the thought in my head, you should get into voice acting. Yes! Was the immediate response in my head.
And so how long have you been at it?
And so I did, like many other people here, I did the research, got some stuff together. I built this.
Nice.
This is in my basement, hence the hoodie, because it's January. And it's cold down here. Mm.
Oh my God, you belong in animation. How long have you
Oh.
been at this, Chris?
I have been at this, well, as obviously recreationally since I was 6.
Right.
Although a significant amount of character-driven improv since 1998, aka tabletop roleplay. But professionally, it's been around 2018, 2019.
Fantastic.
So somewhere around there is
Awesome.
like 2-3 years, getting on my 4th year now. I mean, like middle of December, I just got my first agent, so I'm like, yay.
Aw, congratulations. That's fantastic.
I'm
That's
having
one thing
some
too
fun.
that we see, guys, don't be afraid to utilize the fact that you were on UVOS with potential agents and stuff, because there are people that are very familiar with the contest at this point. And, if you're someone who got a special mention, there's a reason. So this is something to, who are we? But it's a bit of a badge of honor to try and get out there and try and work your way into some areas to gain momentum on your career. I know from 2020 for sure, I'm not sure yet right now where we're at here, but there was a lot of the agents that scouted a lot of the talent that were on there and took them on the roster. And I believe the same thing is happening again this year. So it's a really great opportunity to see the entire industry in a small basket.
Mhm.
Hey, there's way more to the industry than the basket that we created, but we had some very generous sponsors that helped us to create a big monster of opportunity for all of us. And we were able to divide that into 36 some prize packages, like just a stupid amount, $155,000 in prizes. It was pretty incredible. So thank you guys for being a part of that.
No, thank you guys. That's insane. Thank you guys
But
so
also,
much.
guys, it is equivalent to the energy with which came to the table. So we were gifted great exchanges. You can call it financial, because the light and the energy with which you brought to the table and the microphone was equivalent to the gifts that we received to support that. So it is cyclical in what we support and what we uplift. And you, I hope, uplift and support yourselves and celebrate yourselves as winners. As winners in this industry, like Deb and I do. And we wish for you all successes in 2022 and moving forward. And we do hope you join us again to continue telling stories together and raising the roof and uplifting humanity, because that's why we do what we do, to change the vibration of the planet. So
Nice.
thank you so much, gang, because you are phenomenal, each and every one of you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. And thanks for joining us tonight. We just really wanted to have a moment with each of you to thank you personally, to celebrate you individually as best as we can. There's a lot of you. And we just want to thank you for believing in our project and sharing this industry with the world. I know Ellie has to leave right away, guys. So I think, Chris, you had something else you wanted to say, but feel free to go anytime.
One question,
I'll wrap us up
actually.
here right away.
Quitter.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
One question, quick. Considering we're all special mention winners, does that mean we can call ourselves award-winning voice actors?
Absolutely, you guys have.
Of course you can. And you put that on your website. You've got to say award-winning voice actor.
100%. We
There you go.
validly gave you an award. We have validity.
You've given an award for us. Yeah. there you
Chris
go.
wins the internet.
Absolutely.
I love you all. I have to go.
Yes.
I love you.
We celebrate you all. Thank you guys all so much.
Happy 2022.
Happy 2022.
guys.
You have the microphone.
Awesome 2022.
Goodbye, everyone. I love
Bye,
you all.
everyone.
Bye,
Take
everybody.
care.
Take care.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you
really
for all your help.
We're disintegrating here.
Goodbye,
You
everybody.
want my dog? Sorry.
People are just leaving now, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait until everything just dies down and this stuff is closed.
That's how it's gotta be. You gotta go down with the
Bye.
ship
Take
in
care,
flames,
everybody.
man.
Don't
Bye.
forget to do the credit section of the video chat.
Here
Right,
comes the
right,
credit.
I do a specific.
Sorry.
Oh, and here we go. Hold on. And
Sorry. I just put it
there
on
we go.
video. Say hi to Ellie. We'll
I'm
be back
jumping
at it.
Zoom.
Hello.
I'm all over the place. I'm like in so many
All,
Zooms, I don't know where I am.
I know there's a lot
all
of
good.
Zooming
No
going on.
worries.
She's got a JMC thing going on right now, so there's a Zoom
Oh,
going on.
oh, nice.
Yeah, it's so awesome. It's so
I'm,
awesome.
I'm on his wait list to go out to the Euro trip later
Oh,
this year.
nice.
So, you know, fingers crossed. Obviously, I don't want anyone to not have the opportunity to go, but I really want to go to Europe.
Well, I gotta tell you, like I am sort of he's my new I'm like so a fan right now. Like he's
Oh, yeah.
my favorite sort of person. Like he's
Oh yeah.
fantastic.
He did all my demos, and he's probably going to refresh my demos with Dave Walsh later this year.
Yeah,
so.
he's doing my new. I haven't ever redone my commercial.
Yeah.
Demo. He's doing my new.
He's going to redo everybody's demos, and then
Oh,
he'll just be everybody's demos. He'll do them all.
And that's why he has so many Sovas.
Right? Yeah, well,
He's doing a
he's
great job.
really, I had a student, a new student today, and I listened to his demos. He was looking at his website, and I listened to his demo, and I said, "That's a J. Michael Collins demo, isn't it?"
Yeah.
He said, "It is." Like I knew immediately because we had done we had worked a little bit. Then I listened to his demos, and I went, "Holy shit, man! That demo makes you sound really awesome." And
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ellie, did you remember Hunter Peterson? Hunter was our UVOS audience favorite.
I do remember you.
Yes.
And we were so happy to celebrate Hunter. And then we invited him to the grand finale, which was a special
didn't
moment
get
for
in.
us. And he sat in the waiting room
I sat in the waiting room for 2.5 hours. I'm like,
and no one let him in. And
well,
his fans
well,
were
it
watching.
was, yeah. Well, and it's also like, so, you know, I have, oh God, 327,000 subscribers on my personal channel, one of my personal channels. And then, another one has 1.45, and so you know we were streaming it on Discord, and I start getting ping after ping because everyone's like, "Where are you? Why aren't you here?" And I'm like, "I'm sitting in the waiting room. I don't know what's happening." So you know, look, these things happen. It's
Well,
totally
chalk it
fine.
up
Here
to
now.
technical. You want to talk about
overwhelmness.
It takes a village, like his
Yeah.
dad always said.
Sure.
Overwhelming as it is, the mountain, and nobody really understands. And us saying it, it's
Oh, yeah.
laughable now, but that's because we had a nervous breakdown, and we can laugh about it now because we can't quite remember what even happened. But you know, there were so many people doing, like, we only had a handful of assistants doing the job of the mighty 100 people. And
Right.
unfortunately for you, Hunter, that became one of the accidents.
And you know what? These things happen all the time. So
You'll just have to come back
wanna-
next year and
we
win.
just- yeah, exactly.
We'll see about that. Competition this year was stiff. You know, I may have audience numbers, but you know, in regards to sheer raw talent, there were some real heavy hitters out there.
You said it correctly. Now,
so-
before we even get into that competition, we just want to send a personal apology out to you and your fans.
Thank you. No, I
And
appreciate
so,
it.
you know, I gotta own it because it was exciting. We were gonna bring you guys, the first contestant, and yourself, who won for best audience vote, and brought in tons of viewership for us, which was so wonderful of you. Thank you for sharing that with us as well. And you guys ended up sitting in the waiting room, and I forgot to tell the assistants that's what you were there for, and no one thought to just kind of let you in, maybe.
It's all good because there are definitely screen caps from like I think it was like maybe the last 2 minutes where I just like randomly got popped in, and they're like, "There you are. Is this supposed to be what's happening now?" I'm like, I don't know. We're just kind of rolling with it. It's fine. We're here. It's
Even at
2020.
the end, did you not even get in at the very
No. I was literally in it for the last like minute and a half where it was like the big wrap up, like, and it was
because I was done producing at that moment, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, Hunter,
yeah,
oh my God.
no, and I was just kind of sitting there. But look, again, we're here now. I appreciate it. I'm just glad to, be on a podcast that I was actually, it's kind of very serendipitous. We're starting 2022 off where I'm on the two podcasts that really helped shape me as a young voice actor when I was first getting into the industry. I started listening to Get Mic'd, VOpreneur podcast with Mark Scott, and Crispin Freeman's Voiceover Mastery podcast. Those were the three podcasts that I listened to in the beginning of my career. And I'm now 2 for 3 in January. So here we are.
Congratulations.
We're making it. Thank you. No, we're
And
making
so
it.
you're in LA. Tell us about you.
Yeah.
Are you a full-time voice talent then?
So I am a full-time voice talent now, and I do the insane thing of I run 2 production companies on top of everything that I'm doing, voice acting wise. So I came out to LA for USC Film School. I graduated early, and I was kind of figuring myself out. 2016, I quit my job as an editor at a commercial production company to do a movie called Headcount. We did that movie, sold it to Samuel Goldwyn. That was then on Netflix, and it's on Amazon. I still produce movies. I still produce TV. We have an animated series called Battle of the Bands that I'm very excited about that hopefully I'm still voice talent on, but we have some amazing voice talent on that show, including Sarah Natacheni, who's the voice of Ash Ketchum, Erika Ishii, Erica Mendez, Amari Williams, some really incredible names.
And it's
that
an
I grew up.
animation about bands?
It's an animation about bands with elemental powers based on the genre of music that they play.
Do you play? Are you in a band?
So I sing and I do synth. I'm the weird kind of like Brian Eno vibe, I guess. But in regards to producing, I'm still a full-time producer, and I also do commercial producing as well. But my day job is being in here. Originally it started as, hey, I want to be able to produce and I don't want to edit anymore, and I want to have a job I can do from home. I'll try voice acting. And then just voice acting took over my entire life, and I'm so thankful that it did, because I'm here now. So yeah.
That's awesome. You feel like us, just hyper energy. Let's go. Let's talk. I love
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
Well, we're honored to have had you be a part of it, and that's
Of
great
course.
that you our podcast. That means you've been around for a while. We did start a long time ago. At first, I'm thinking, no, we haven't been around long, but we really have. We've been around a bit.
Yeah, I just saw something on Facebook that was so far, I don't know if it was 2010, it was at least 2012. It was at least 10. It was before then. It was where when we started out as the Double Divas, we had a totally different handle.
Right. Okay, and I remember some of your older episodes, but I first found your guys' podcast in the dawn of 2017, because I really started with VOpreneur and Mark Scott's podcast, and then I found you guys, and then after that was and Ganguza's podcast as well. And so, just kind of collecting voiceover podcasts, just trying to learn via osmosis. But yeah, I really attribute a lot of the stuff that I heard on your guys' podcast, Mark's and Crispin's, to really where I am now.
Awesome. And so tell us about your experience on UVOS. Was it overwhelming, daunting, fun, easy? What did you think?
For UVOS?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually really interesting because I am never really someone who's ever done voiceover-based competitions. Even though I have a decent-sized social media presence, I haven't really done competitions. But this was something where actually a friend of mine on Discord, who is a voice actor themselves, said, "Hey, you should definitely check this out. You should send in a promo read." And then it was just a matter of, I kind of had that moral dilemma of do I tell my audience I'm doing this, or do I just go under the radar? And so then I posted it on my channel, and one thing led to another. Everyone started to kind of repost it on the different servers that I'm involved with on Discord and the different YouTube channels. And then, it just kind of got to this point where a lot of people were like, you're really good, but also I'm now really interested in voice acting. So even though it was something where it was a wonderful opportunity for me to showcase what I can do as a promo talent and what I can do as a talent in general, it then sparked a conversation in my community, because my primary demographic, I would say, is kids ages 16 to 20. If I look on YouTube, that's my primary demo, and it started a lot of conversations where they're like, hey,
What is that?
Oh, yeah, exactly. What is voiceover? Like, we know you're like, haha, funny voice boy. You do funny memes. But at the same time, you know, it really then started to evolve into, how do I get started in voiceover? Can I start, you know, in high school? Can I start now? It's like, yeah, you can. There's actually a lot of opportunity for people your age, especially in commercial. You know,
Hey,
commercial.
listen, I work with 7-year-olds who have better portfolios than I do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Seriously.
It's astounding to me, but there's literally a kid in my server who, you know, started asking me for advice actually like early in 2021, even before I posted about UVOS, and they're now SAG. Like they full on booked an animation that you know, there was an opportunity that came through my managers, and I sent it to them being like, hey, I think you'd be really good at this. And they booked it, which is like, blows my mind. And yeah, now they're SAG and they're working on I think it's for Nick or something like that. Anyway, but you know, for me, you know, UVOS is an incredible opportunity for a lot of people to showcase talent and ability and so on and so forth. But at least what I'm seeing is it's actually starting to spark a new generation of saying, hey, what's voiceover? How can I get started?
Well, it's very educational. When we first did it, it was COVID. Everybody was stuck at home. We wanted to do something that was more give back initiative.
Sure.
And kind of, we realized, which was really amazing, that we were the only kind of actors working during that shutdown. Film shut down, theater shut down,
Right.
everything shut down. And so, hey, a lot of people don't even know we're here. They
Right.
don't know what we're doing. So it was a multi-venture. And so I'm glad that you and your audience were able to get that out of it. Because for me, myself, if I was in any avenue of my career and someone put this out, I wouldn't hesitate. But now
Oh, yeah.
is what I love the most for me even was I found it so educational. I was overwhelmed at how
Right.
educated I felt.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm sitting there as a judge, yet I felt educated, and going through the whole process and every aspect of it is hell, but it's also absolutely a beautiful experience to have been able to share in our community, because it's
Sure.
a pretty amazing community, really.
Well, and I think it's interesting, you know, when you talk to a lot of voice actors and you talk to a lot of actors who made the transition to voiceover in, you know, kind of the depths of 2020, you know, in a lot of ways, a lot of voice actors who were set up with a home studio, and, you know, they were focused on having a home setup since 2016, 2017. You know, in a lot of ways, a lot of them had their best years in 2020. And it's really strange to think about. But, you know, that was kind of like an immense learning moment. It was watershed in a lot of ways, because the industry had to immediately evolve. I mean, you have so many major animated movies that had to finish their ADR with major actors having blanket forts, which is like, you know, how a lot of us either record on the road or travel or whatever, how you started with your booths. So I think it is really interesting.
Actually, Blacklist went and animated everything on one of the seasons they were in.
Yep.
They used I forget what that specific animation is called, but almost like a Dick Tracy looking comic strip type
Rotoscope.
style. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they used animated all the way through and
Yep.
just voiced it. And I was like, see, there we are again.
Yep.
There's the
Yep.
voice over there. And
Yep.
Ellie, how many people did we hear from during COVID? Like, oh my God, set me up. I need a studio now.
Oh, well, I mean, it's just like it exploded.
Mhm.
You know, Deb and I are successful anyway, but it didn't change. It didn't slow down. If
Yeah.
anything, it doubled.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. I can't speak for other voice actors,
Right.
but it was wild. It's really wild. As studios were shutting down and closing in downtown Toronto, certain studios just couldn't cut it, right? They
Right.
just could not cut it.
Right.
And I feel badly because the home studio, we're not going back.
No.
No.
It's
No.
it's
a lot of
it's
studios.
late. It's like I said way back in the day. Non-union's going to take over. Home
Mhm.
studios are going to take over. We'll never go to studio again, and we'll only send in self tapes from our studios. And everybody's like, "Oh, you're hysterical," and whatever. And I'm like, "Hello, guess where we're at." Now that
Yeah.
they've realized that they can save, you know, what producer is going to hire a studio, a casting director to direct and a technician, everybody
Mhm.
auditioning, when they can get us to do everything now? It's really too bad.
Well, and I think the claim for so long was also just like, oh, if you're doing any sort of motion capture, there are home motion capture rigs now that that studios are just supplying, and it's just simple rig. It's very straightforward instructions. And that's also why, like, I literally was up until like 2 a.m. last night redoing the wiring and the lighting in my booth, because first off, this is where I stream and also record a lot of my YouTube content, but also, like, I want to have the creature comforts of home, of knowing that I can do what most studios can. I can count on one hand how many times I was in a studio in the last 12 months, which is insane to think about.
That's kind of interesting. It's almost like the Ed Sheeran of voice acting, which is scary because that takes away even more jobs. So please charge for every job you do. I just want to add that. Charge for every freaking service you offer. I'm just saying. But I fought being a tech geek. I didn't want to. So I become the non-union online at home voice talent forever. That's how I started. That's what I know. That's that's what I know. And so I had to become a tech person somewhat. And I fought it all the way. And now what I see is basically the Ed Sheeran, the one-man show that has the mocap, that has the setup, that has the camera, that has everything all set up. And we saw it in the reality shows and stuff like that through COVID, how they shot it from their home computers. Had a nice setup, actually. I really like.
Well, actually, commercials from
we have the same thing now. We have the same.
I mean, we literally. So one of the companies that I run right now is called Stocktual. It's literally a commercial production company, and we make ads based off of stock footage. We now have more than 20 terabytes worth of stock footage, and we're doing ads for companies that just raised, multi rounds of angel financing, Series A, Series B. Like, we're pivoting because so many production companies like Partisan or Hungry Man, and if any of those companies are listening, I love you, please hire me. I'm not trying to put you out of a job, but we're able to do things faster because we're just using stock footage. So if you need something that doesn't exactly require you to go out and shoot it for COVID protocols, which, by the way, add a 25% premium to anything you shoot now for a COVID compliance officer and so on and so forth.
Right.
You pivot. You figure out how you can evolve.
I know. It's all the evolvement, and it's every single industry. It's not just this industry. And, I know the veterans have watched this change. It's so hard. And I'm a veteran of the non-union world, if you will, but being the veteran of the union world it's a hard thing to watch. I had to change the demise
it has forced the old dogs to do new tricks. And in a world where you have invested so much into a certain system that is no longer the viable system, it really is shattering to a lot of people. Like Deb said, they're at the place now, mature, going, I don't want to be a technician. I don't know how. Please don't make me do that. And it's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you know what, Hunter, we thank you so much for taking some time out for us. And
absolutely.
Sorry we didn't get to meet you a little more on the show, but at least we got more personal time with you this way. So it was nice to get to know you at least.
Absolutely.
Promote your, we're still going to, promote your services.
Yes.
I appreciate
And your special mention, your most audience favorites, and you did a great job. You were a great member for our team. So thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure.
You betcha, Hunter. See you at the mic, my friend.
Take care, guys. Be well. Bye now.
Take care.